Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in this Flutter tutorial I'm gonna explain you something which is very common and which is very important, which is the form. Okay, so in Flutter we can have different kind of forms. So we'll talk about text field, we will talk about text form field, how to style that, and how to retrieve values, how to handle the changes, how to focus on that, and we will also see how to validate the forms. Like, if suppose if you have a login page and you have username and password, how can you validate that? So I'm assuming that you must have seen this kind of things, like when building any application, whether for Android or for iOS. So it is very crucial, and many of you were looking for it. So let's start with this video. So here I have some code. As you can see, this is just a normal material app, and it has this scaffold which is just having a body as a clean container. There is nothing inside that container as of now. You can see the output on the right hand side on this iPhone X simulator, or iPhone 10 simulator, you can say. So this is what we have as of now. So I am assuming that you have gone through some of the basic stuff, so you know what this all means, what is this main method and everything. So let's start by talking about the text fields. So there are two kind of text fields in Flutter. First one is a normal text field, and another one is a text form field. Okay, so text field is the most common, and which you can see the text input widget, and text form field is something which is enclosed in a form. So we'll talk about it. So let's see, if suppose in this container, let's give it a little bit padding first of all. And I am actually I have enabled Dart 2, but I will code which code should be supported for Dart 1 as well. So you can use any of that. So let's give it a padding of 10, let's say, as of now. And now let's use a text field first of all. So here this is the text field, and in this text field we can do many things. Okay, trust me. Okay, so what error it is giving me as of now? Okay, so we haven't used the child, so sorry for that. How can I forget that? So we have this text field, and in this text field let's add something which can be, and as you can see on the right hand side, it is reflecting. And now we can have some kind of decoration here, which is a new input decoration. Okay, and in the decoration you have lot of options, as you can see here. So you can have something like hint text, where you can give a hint before the user can fill the data. So let's say I can say here, enter something. Okay, so it will show me a, sorry, yeah, it will show me this hint. It is saying enter something. Okay, now I can also have some kind of one second. So we can also have here, inside this decoration, we can also have this border, where we can say input border. Okay, dot none, let's say. So it won't show any border, and it will look like a simple chat application kind of text field. So this is just a basic one. Okay, so now you must be wondering, what is the difference between a text form field and a text field? So I'm just gonna show you, and it will look exactly the same. So let's do one thing. Before moving to that, let's add a label text here. So I'll say a label text, and let's say enter data. Okay, so now if I will press here, oh, it has stopped or what? Okay, we need to rebuild this again, so sorry for that. And I go very slowly for some people, because I want to explain each and everything so that anyone can understand. This is not about just for a beginner, or just for someone who is an intermediate level. So it can be helpful for everyone. So if you are a little bit advanced than others, then you can maybe you can change the speed, or you can go to some like 10 or 15 seconds faster, so something like that. So oh, this didn't happen as expected, so let's build it again. I know it's taking some time, but it should not take that much time. Okay, so it is done, project is ready, we have got some notification at the bottom, and yeah, so we have this thing, and here you can see we have this enter data label text. So there's not much difference between this text field. Now we can change it to a text form field. Okay, as you can see, the output is exactly the same, but this text form field is kind of helpful when we use a form. So I'll talk about the form as well. So this is the normal text field. Now let me tell you how you can basically retrieve any value from this text field. Okay, so what we will do, we will go here and we can have here a text controller as well. So final, let's say text controller. Okay, and we can say it new text editing controller. Okay, how it will help me? So let's change it to text field, or you can leave it, it's totally your choice. Text field. Okay, now we will supply this a controller to our text field here. So we can have here a controller and we can say a text controller. Okay, that is cool, I guess. There's no not any problem with this. Okay, so let's say we want to show it somewhere. So let's do one thing. Below this container, let's do one thing. We can have let's copy this text field here from here. Now let's have a column here maybe. Okay, new column, and here we can have some children's. So first children will be our text field, and below that we can have some kind of new label maybe. We can say it like what we can have here, like we can have here a new text where we can just give a random data. Okay, let's save it, and here we have some data. So we will change this data according to our the data we will enter in the text field. Okay, so what I will do, I'll say here this text controller dot text. Okay, so now if I will enter here some data, it is not reflecting as of now. Why it is not reflecting? Because we need to do something with this. Okay, so how we can do that? Okay, so what we will do, we need to first of all have some data, right? One second. So this is not reflecting because we need to set the state as well. So what we will do, we can say here set state. This should not work here. Okay, so we know that we can get the value from this text controller dot text, but as of now, if you will see now, this will reflect here. But if I will change here something like this, it will not reflect because it is not actually listening to it, and it will reflect only after I will put something. So for reflecting it on the runtime, we need to rebuild the widget. So that's not the idea as of now. We will see how we can do that, and let me do I want to do some changes before proceeding to that. So let's do one thing. What we can do, we can also change this value. Okay, so what we will do, we will go here on the new text field. It has a property which is onChanged. So onChanged, a value will be changed. So here we can say it will have a text after changing this. So here what I can do, I can give this value to my the controller as well. Okay, so how I will do that? Okay, that must be the question. So what I will do, I can have let's say I can write here something like let's add something, let's say print. Okay, and here I can print something, so I will print here my text, and I can print the text here. Okay, so it will print some text. Now we want a listener, as I told you. So what I will do, I will first of all override a method which is init state. Okay, so I can say super.init state. Here I need to add that listener. Okay, so what I will do, I can say here text controller dot add listener. Okay, and here I need to add a listener, so I'll say print some values. This is my listener, which is kind of a method. So now we need to make this method as well. Okay, so below this, what I will do, I'll make a method here, print some values. Okay, and here I can say print controller values. Okay, and here we can say text controller dot text. Okay, so I need to use this curly braces here. Okay, and then I can say dot text, and then I can close it. Okay, so this is what we will do. And apart from that, what we need to do, we need to also override the dispose method here, because we also want to clean up that controller when the you can say when the widget is removed from the widget tree. So what we will do, we can say our text controller dot remove listener, and we can pass the same listener again, which is print some values. Okay, and after that, what I will do, I will also call the text controller dot dispose, which will help me to dispose the text controller. Okay, now what we will do, we have this text field, we have this text controller dot text. Nothing will happen as of now, but let's just focus on this debug console here. Let's clean it a little bit first, and now I will enter some data. So say Flutter, and you can see here one is the my text, which is appearing on this on changed this method. So as I will write Flutter is amazing maybe. Okay, so you can see this is reflecting here, and when it is reflecting, it is working exactly fine as I wanted it to happen. But you might be wondering what happened to that listener method. Okay, it should have given me that output, which it didn't give as of now. So what we need to do, we need to restart this. So we will restart this, and we will see if everything is working fine or not. So I know it takes some time, and it can be a bigger video maybe, so just wait for it. And yeah, so once the concept will be clear into your mind, so you can see now we have this controller value. So now if I will write something here, so we can see both the text for the on changed as well and for the controller as well, because we are listening for that controller. Okay, but still this text is not appearing in our this widget, which is this one new text controller dot text. It is not appearing because we are not rebuilding the widget yet. Okay, so as of now we don't need that. Otherwise we could have made a method where we can say to set the state, but right now we don't need it. So what we can do now, we need to see, like if we have two text field, and suppose we want to give a focus to the second field, how we can achieve that. Okay, so what I mean by that is, let's say, let's leave that text controller, which is, so let's delete as of now this listener and all. So this text controller as well, this method as well, and this is also, we don't need this. So here let's delete all of this stuff. Now let's say we have two text fields. Okay, so let's say one is the new text field. Okay, and in this text field we have, let's say, what we can have, we can have something like maybe nothing. We can okay, let me just explain some more properties here. We can have an autofocus, which can be like true. Okay, so when the activity will be built, or you can say that when the page will be appearing, then this text field will have the focus. Okay, so this is the autofocus. Let's have another text field. Okay, text. Okay, what's happening to me today? Okay, so we have this another text field. Now let's say when we press on, like we can have here in the body, we can have let's say a floating action button. So we can add this floating action button, and let's have a child here, new icons dot add. Okay, now we can also have on pressed here, where we can say that what should happen, that let's say we want to change the focus from this text field to the second text field. So we cannot have the focus for both of the fields all together. So what we can do, so I'm just disabling this debug as of now. So what we can do here, we can have something like focus node. Okay, so here on the top, what I will do, I will have something like focus node. Okay, focus node, which is equal to new focus node. So what it will do, let's see what it does. If I'll go here, a leaf node in the focus tree that can receive focus. Okay, the focus tree keeps track of which widget is user's current focus. Okay, so this is the advantage of this focus node. So what I will do, I will give this second text field the focus node, and this will be our focus node. So now whenever I will press on this floating action button, I want to change the focus. So what I can do here, I can say focus scope dot of context, and now I can call a method which is request focus, and here I can pass the focus node. So I will say focus node. Okay, now we will run this application again, and now let's see what happens. It will take some time. Yeah, so as you can see, we have this two text field. Yeah, you cannot see as of now, but let's just wait for a few seconds. Okay, so we have these two fields, and it is not yet reflected. So there is some kind of bugs with this new Flutter version. I'm using the latest one, and it is the master channel, so maybe there are a lot of bugs, but sorry, I cannot do anything as of now. So let's rebuild it, and because I do the live thing, so I cannot even touch that part, so sorry for that. But yeah, it's better late than never, so there should not be an issue. So now let's see if it fixes that or not. I'm still waiting for the output, and it is taking so much time today, I don't know why. So here you can see we have these two text fields. One has the focus, the upper one. Now when I will press this floating button, the focus changed to the second field. Okay, So this is how you can change the focus, because it is also very important thing which can be which can be very useful sometimes. Okay, so we have seen all of this, and this should be enough for this text field and everything. Now let's come to the main part. Okay, so now we are going to make a login form which can be useful for having a username and password. So let's make that login form. So first of all, what we will do, we have this scaffold. So what we will do, we will have a variable, we can say scaffold key. Okay, so scaffold key can be useful. One second. So we have this scaffold key. Now we can use this global key attribute where we can have the state of our scaffold. So we need to say here scaffold state. Okay, so this is what we need to do. So we have this is the state of the scaffold by this scaffold key, and using this key we can also show snack bars and everything. So you can see my Flutter widgets example for this. And again we will have another key which is the form key. Now I will also show you how to use forms. So here we can again call this global key, and in the generic type I can say it like form state. Okay, so we have these two keys, which is scaffold key and the form key. Okay, now we will have, let's say, an email. So we can take an string with an email and a password. I have used underscore because it is a private field. Okay, so we have this thing. Now let's build the UI for this. So here in this scaffold I can give it a key. So here I will pass the scaffold key. Okay, we have the app bar already. So here form page we can leave it like this. Now here in the body let's add some padding first of all. So I can give it a padding from all sides. Let's give it a padding of 20. And now we can again use the same column. So let's add a parent as the form first of all. So new form. Okay, so form can be helpful if you have multiple text form fields and you want to validate all of them together. Okay, so then we can use this form. Okay, now it also takes a key. So we will pass the form key because we will be needing this in future. So now it can also take a child. So here we can have a new column because we need some children's here. So first of all we will have a, we cannot use the text field with this form. We can use this, but the validation would not be applied, so we will use text form field. Here in the decoration we can say new input decoration, and we can say the label text as, let's say it will be like email or username, whatever you want to say it. Let's say it is an email as of now because we want to have some kind of validations. Okay, now it will also take some kind of validation, so we will come to the validation part. Just wait for few minutes maybe. Now let's take another text form field. Here we can have something like password. So I'll also talk about some more properties here because we will be dealing with this also. So this we can say password. Okay, so we have these two fields, and below that let's have a button which will say new raised button, which will have this child as text login. Okay, and we can also say on pressed something will happen. So as of now let's say it will called a method. What we can give this method, let's say its name is submit. Okay, so now we need to make this method submit. So here below this let's make a method submit, which is as of now not doing anything. Okay, so we have this form, and you can see on the right hand side that it is reflected there. We have this email, we have this password. Hot reloading is working, I don't know why, so let's just disable it. Okay guys, there's some issue with the hot reload as of now with this Flutter version. I don't know what issue is this, but there is some issue with rebuilding of the app again and again. So we have this two text form fields with our input as email and password. Now we want to validate them. Okay, we haven't done anything to validate this till now, so what we will do, we will also have a method which is the submit method. So what I can do here, let's just wait for it to be running so that we can do some operations here. Okay, I don't know why it is taking again so much time, but yeah, it is working. So now what I will do, below this, let's see if that works. I know it is taking time today and I'm so sorry for that, and I don't know what to say for the time taken, and it is some kind of issue. Okay, so we have this kind of spacing issue first of all, so we will add some kind of padding here as well so that we can have this issue fixed. So here we can say only from top, let's give it a padding of 20 maybe. Okay, so it should fix that. Okay, so we have this email, this password and this login. Now we will add a validator to both the fields. So this validator takes a string back, gives a string back, so we can have a value out of this. So when we will validate it, so we can check if that value, so we will say value dot contains, and at the exclamation mark means the negative of it, so it should contain at the rate. Okay, otherwise if it does not contain at the rate, then we can say invalid email. Okay, and if it contains that at the rate, we can say not an issue, so we will say null. Okay, and what we want, we can override another, or we can use another property which is on saved. It also returns a value, so we can say it will give me a value. So here I can say that the email, which is a field I used, here I can give this field this value. Okay, so what I am doing, I have this onSaved property which returns me a value, and I am assigning this value to my email property, so it will come up only after going through the validator. Similar thing I will do with the another password field, but it will be little bit different. Here I will say the validator, it will give me a value, and I will check if that value has a length, let's say greater than 6. Okay, we can say if it is less than 6, then we will say password too short. Okay, because the password is not up to the mark. Okay, we want it to be more than 6 characters or letters or the numbers, so otherwise it is fine. Now here on also we can use this on saved, it will also return me a value, and then I can assign this value to my this password field, and I can say, oh sorry, this value. Okay, so this is what we can do. And there is one more property we can use here, which is the obscure text, and if I will say true, then it will it will show me the stars or asterisks rather than the number. So if I will type something here, it is just broken again, this emulator not working. We need to stop the app. So we have done the basic part. Okay, now what should happen, why we have used this form thing. Okay, so now we need to do one more thing, and what's that? We need to check when submitting the form that what should happen. Okay, so on when the login button is pressed, we are calling this submit. Okay, so in this method, in this submit method, what we will do, we will take the state of the form. So we can say again final form, we can use the form key here and we can get the current state. Okay, now we will validate this form. If form dot validate, now it will go through all the validations which we have used, like the password should be more than 6 characters and the email should have an at the rate. Okay, so if the validation is successful, then we can save this form. Okay, and then what we will do, we will perform kind of login. Okay, so this is again a method, this is not something which is already defined, so we need to make another method which is void perform login. So we can say perform login. Okay, here we can show snack bar, so I can show, say snack bar is equal to new snack bar. Okay, and here it takes a content, here we can say new text, and I can say your email is, we can use this dollar sign and email and comma password is dollar sign and password. Okay, so this is what we can do. Now we can call this snack bar by using this scaffold state. So we can say scaffold key dot current state dot show snack bar. Okay, and now we can pass this snack bar here. Okay guys, so we are done with this. Now this perform login is not working, I don't know why. Okay, is it, yeah, there is a spelling issue. Okay, now let's rebuild this form or this app in fact, and you can use this init state and dispose for doing anything which I explained earlier, but as of now I am showing just the validation part to you guys, so you need to be focusing on that. So let's wait for it to build that form for us. I don't know how much time it will take, but it should validate. Let's wait guys, I'm sorry. So we have this email, let's enter some random stuff here and some random stuff here. It is not yet built again because there is no padding between this login button, so let's just kill it again and let's build it again. I know guys, this is frustrating because I am using the latest version. After this video I am definitely gonna switch from this version to some other, if there is some other latest version, or I will go back to beta because it is causing some problems as you can see, and I exactly don't like that kind of issue while I'm building apps. So that's why I chose Flutter, because I don't want to, you know, spend my time building again and again. So that's an issue with every other platform, so I don't want to use those platforms. I want to use Flutter, but again if this issue will come, then yeah, I will feel disappointed. So it took some time, and again guys, the code will be available on the GitHub, so you can check that. In the link will be in the description, and you can also follow my Flutter example apps. There you can find all these codes. So now you can see the login button is having some kind of padding from the top. So now if I will write some random email and random password, you can see the stars here because it is op secure, and yeah, it is not visible. So now if I will press the login button, you can see invalid email, it validated it. So we need a at the rate symbol somewhere. So let's change this email. Let's say mtechviral @gmail.com. I know this is not kind of validation which you would like, but let's just do it, and let's have some password smaller than 6 numbers. Okay, so you can check that validation as well. So 1 2 3 4. So now let's press login, and password too short is the issue. Now let's give it 6 digits. So now if I will log in, you can see the email is mtechviral gmail.com and password is 123456. So this is how, let me just make it a little bit bigger so that you can see it clearly. Okay, now this is fine. So now if I will press login, you can see the email and password, everything is working fine. Let me just do some like this. Let me remove the @ symbol as well, and it will give the error with this red alert kind of the color system and everything. So this is how you can implement this form page. And guys, you can visit my repository, which is Flutter example apps, where you will find all the examples. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, then press the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you did not like that, then you can press the unlike button, but please don't do that. Okay, bye bye, take care, I'll see you in the next video.